What was one big lesson, few big lessons you think you learned from your rookie season?
Yeah, I think just knowing that like just life in general comes with a lot of like, ups and downs. I started the season hurt. I had eye surgery, so just kind of pushing through that. Yeah, just kind of staying the course, not trying to get too high or low. I think that kind of helped, just kind of later down on the road. You know, obviously I was able to get a lot more comfortable. And yeah, just kind of also find like a belief system. I thought, you know, our program and, you know, being around my teammates, you know, through the up and downs, and, you know, we're all young, so we all are kind of able to lean on each other was kind of big for my development kind of throughout the year.
You got off to a little bit of a shaky start with the eye, and then you start to come on as the year goes on, and you start getting into the rookie of the year conversation. At what point in the year did you realize, like, I'm here?
I think when I got comfortable with my mask after like the first like 2 weeks of kind of playing, I had never really been hurt up until that point. So going from never being hurt to like kind of having to like maneuver the mask and like I'm breathing and it's fogging up. So trying to just figure that out. I think once the mask kind of came off and I had a couple like regular games, and I think I had 17 maybe against the Mavs, and I think that was kind of like a lot of confidence, like, okay, like I can do it here. Kind of from that point on, like December, I think, I was able to kind of like get a feel. I started getting kind of like more consistent minutes and like kind of seeing where I would fit in the rotation.
How do you approach this summer versus last summer?
Around the same thing. I think a lot of it has to do with just work ethic, you know, not taking a lot of days off, but also kind of giving myself a lot of recovery, you know, just from, you know, how many games you play. I think that kind of gets swept under the rug. And obviously, if you make the playoffs, you play twice as many games. So just trying to be big on my body, you know, picking up some good weight and, you know, obviously lose it kind of during the season, but trying to stay healthy, maintain my body, you know, work on a lot of the stuff that I did well, kind of ending the year, and kind of stuff that I can progress through. Kind of just buying into the team even more, you know, kind of sitting down with our coaches, watching film, and just kind of going through that like a really meticulous off season, not trying to do too much that doesn't involve basketball.
Was there a teammate that you had that really instilled those values and you learned a lot from when it comes to the off the court and how to maneuver?
I think just watching Shea, you know, the way he takes care of his body and kind of I think every player kind of wants to have the leap that he did, you know, this year. Obviously being first team and, you know, his first All-Star selection and stuff like that. So kind of seeing the jump that he took, you know, obviously it's a blessing to be able to kind of watch the route that he's taken.
Shea, you have Chet, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, you, Mann's out here playing well. When you look at the young nucleus that you guys have, how much hope does it give you about the kind of the upside that you guys have?
I think we're a really deep team. We're also really close, so I think that, you know, when you have those two things where everybody's happy for everybody to succeed, you know, I think that goes a long way. We're also really young, so everybody's going through the same experiences, so we're able to kind of learn together, which I think is really important and kind of undervalued just because everybody feels the same way. So we all kind of understand each other and we get to kind of go through this process and learn with each other, and it's been really fun. So I'm excited to see, you know, kind of the jump we take.
All these guys locked in under contract and all that, and obviously building together. How does that make you guys feel kind of when you approach each individual season, knowing that this is the core, this is how you guys move?
I think it gives like everybody, you know, somewhat sense of like security. And, you know, like I said, just going through the process together, I think is huge. Everybody kind of understands where everybody's coming from. It gives everybody confidence, you know, be able to talk to each other and figure out different situations. I think, you know, we're getting closer just, you know, by going through all this together. So.
Who out of your teammates you think is the most focused and also the funniest?
Oh. I think Wiggs, just because he's hilarious and he also is about his business too. But I think everybody's pretty funny on the team. But Wiggs is our funniest guy, who also, you know, we consider kind of like our glue guy, and, you know, somebody that, you know, keep the locker room together, but also is, you know, comes to practice every day ready.
And when you think about your sophomore season, you know, you're a few months away here. What are your biggest goals?
I think I don't ever want to be in the same spot as I was last year. You know, you always want to improve and kind of do like that. But I don't really set a lot of like, you know, try and make this team or do stuff like that. I just want to constantly get better and kind of see, you know, where I end up in that regard. So, I mean, I've been putting on weight, you know, trying to be able to be, you know, positionless and kind of do stuff like that. But I don't really have any like set goals to kind of go out there and just kind of play hard.
I saw you at All-Star Weekend. You're getting into photography a little bit. What's kind of on your agenda? What things are you trying to conquer right now?
I've been doing a lot of like YouTube content. My cameraman JoJo's out here, so we've been doing, you know, just kind of random stuff, videoing, whatever. I feel like me and my friend group do a bunch of just random funny things. So kind of doing that, post a little more on social media. You know, went to France and did Fashion Week, so that was my first time out the country, so being able to kind of document that.
What was it like being out there?
You definitely wake up early and, you know, go to bed super late, but it was awesome. Definitely a cool experience, especially, you know, for your first time being out the country and that be it. It was dope. We got to see a couple shows, went to Kids Super Rude, went to a couple more Y3 and Wells Bonner. So it was cool to be out there. Obviously, there were a bunch of other NBA athletes and, you know, just, you know, everybody, any kind of celebrity. So it was really cool to kind of just sit, watch, and also, you know, France has all the architecture and, you know, all the, you know, vintage kind of stuff out there. So it was cool. And I'm big into clothes as well. So it was a galore of stuff.
How much did Shea kind of give you the rundown of what to expect, and how much overall has he been a kind of influence in trying to help
Fashion Week, he definitely told me to get a driver, and we had a good driver. You know, navigating through there, I don't know if everybody knows, but the traffic is chaotic. It's worse than New York, so it was crazy. But yeah, we had a good driver, so that was good advice. And then I think just he's good at, you know, kind of instilling confidence in everybody and making everybody really comfortable around the team. So I think just by me being able to be myself around everybody on the team, I think that's been the biggest kind of advice going through that.
In your rookie year, what was the biggest day-to-day fashion tips he gave you?
None. Or the baggier, the better. That's a saying we have on the team.